Hello, my friend. Welcome back. Happy Cancer New Moon. We have our Cancer New Moon today, June 25th at 3:31 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let's get me moved over here. I hope you all have been having a good week. It's definitely been feeling still intense since the last full moon. We had the summer solstice last week. And there's just been a lot going on collectively. I'm in the Southern California region, so there's been a lot going on here, a lot of anxiety and fear. There's been a lot going on, obviously, collectively. So I think we're all feeling it. And I know I posted this on my Instagram story yesterday because yesterday on the 24th, we had the Sun and Jupiter conjunction, also known as the Jupiter Cazimi, and it's typically known as a really lucky day of the year. It happens pretty much every year, and it's again when the Sun and Jupiter meet up in the sky, and this is because Jupiter is the planet of good luck, of faith, expansion, magnification, and so when the Sun meets it, it basically further expands that Jupiterian sort of energy. But what I picked up on with that transit of the Jupiter Cazimi and the new moon in Cancer, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, as we're learning with this year, and as we've been learning the last 5 years. I think we're all becoming experts at holding the extremes, holding the opposites, being able to be joyful, being able to be grateful, being able to be happy, even when there's really difficult, challenging, tumultuous things going on in our personal lives and in our collective lives. So I hope you all are taking care of yourself, you're resting, especially because this is a new moon in Cancer. Cancer, it can sometimes be a hermit. They are introverted to a certain extent. It's really about being in that yin energy, the caring, nurturing energy. So I would encourage you all, whenever you watch this, to really lean into, if you need to go to bed early or just read a book and lay on the couch. Really take advantage of that energy right now. And even if you're not watching this on the 25th, the energy is still good for about 3 to 4 days. So definitely take advantage of that. But let's kind of jump into the chart. So we have the new moon down here. So the Sun and the moon are right next to each other in Cancer at 4 degrees. That's what makes a new moon. They're at the same degrees. They're at 4 degrees of Cancer. And then we have Jupiter still at 3 degrees of Cancer. And what I've been kind of picking up on today is there being magnified emotions. So again, because Jupiter is the expander, it magnifies everything. And it's often, a lot of people talk about it as bringing good luck because it expands. But I could also see where sometimes it's kind of like the analogy of like when you sit outside on a hot day, like the sun is a beautiful thing. We need the sun. We love the sun. But if you sit outside in the sun for 12 hours and you don't have sunscreen on, you're probably going to get burnt. So there can be too much of a good thing, right? So what I'm kind of feeling with this transit right now with the new moon in Cancer with Jupiter right there is there's just a lot of like magnified emotions. And what I was telling a friend today was just ride the wave of the emotions. Don't try to fight what emotions are coming up. Allow yourself to feel whatever it is that you're feeling, move on with your day, or rest if you need to. A lot of you, I feel like, are needing to rest right now, so definitely prioritize that if you can. And just know that this too shall pass. The other part of this that I want to talk about is we have, again, the Sun, Moon, and Jupiter are quincunx, or in conjunct to Pluto, which is up here in Aquarius. Very fun. So what I was picking up on this, and this is part of that difficult transit that I was kind of talking about with the Cazimi, is that it's not all sunshine and rainbows because we have this really tense angle to Pluto right now. So the question that popped up as I looked at this transit is, do I have the power to do what I want? A lot of us might be feeling powerless. We might be feeling really down on ourselves. We might be feeling like, is it ever going to happen for me? And a lot of this is because of this aspect to Pluto that's happening, which is like, again, Pluto rules power. So do I have what it takes? Can I get this done? Like, I know what I want. I know that I want to feel better. I want to, and a lot of the intentions I think that are probably coming up for people with this Cancer new moon is around like feeling better or wanting to magnify and expand upon certain abundance or family relationships, wanting to heal certain family relationships. And it's like, do I have the power to do that? Can I actually do that? Like and a lot of you probably are questioning like if you feel like you can. The other part of this too is this square with this new moon is the square to Saturn and Neptune in Aries. So Cancer is a cardinal sign. So all 4 cardinal signs are the beginning of the season. So Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn are all cardinal signs. And so they are here to initiate. And so a lot of us right now with this new moon are like wanting to initiate a new beginning, wanting a fresh start, wanting to plan something, wanting to put something together, but also feeling like maybe we don't have all the information we need, and dealing with some illusions and responsibilities that need to be taken care of. So, and that's again directly related to Neptune is the planet of illusions, Saturn is the planet of responsibilities. So again, a lot of us, because of this new moon, are wanting to initiate, wanting this fresh start, but feeling either held back or feeling tension because of the illusions and responsibilities that we have placed on ourselves. Aries represents the self. So there's some illusion that you have about yourself. There's some responsibility that you're carrying that is in the way of you really stepping forward and actually creating this fresh start. We also have Uranus in the final degrees of Taurus. So that's going to be right here. It's at 29 degrees of Taurus. And this is, Uranus has been in Taurus for like 7 or 8 years. And what the metaphor I was getting was like shaky ground. 29 degrees is a critical degree in astrology. So what I get the feeling of is like, and that's why the last 7 or 8 years has felt really tumultuous. It's obvious there's been a lot of things happening astrologically, but especially Uranus and Taurus, there's been a lot of change in our financial systems, in our government, all of those things, our resources. And so, and I even wrote down, there's been a lot of like tectonic movement, both literally and figuratively, over the last 7-8 years. And so because we're at this critical degree, we're kind of wrapping up a lot of those final lessons of Uranus and Taurus. So just trusting that like whatever is coming up for you around, and you can look at where Taurus is in your chart, what house it rules. For me, it's actually in the 12th house. So for me, it's a lot about like healing. It's about subconscious healing. It's about like being a little bit of a hermit. And so this can translate with this new moon. It's almost like just feeling like things aren't stable. Things aren't where they need to be, right? Especially to initiate some of this like new fresh energy. Then we also have the Black Moon Lilith in Virgo. So Black Moon Lilith isn't like a planet or an asteroid or anything. It's actually a point calculated based on the moon. And Black Moon Lilith is it represents like the primal feminine. Like think about like a mother that just gave birth, or a mother that's like protecting her child. and the like primal nature that and the anger that can come from that. And so the Black Moon Lilith in Virgo is like us putting our hands up, especially if you identify as a woman, of saying like, I'm tired of being perfect. I'm tired of needing to look pure and look good and for everybody else, and kind of bucking the system. I think I said that in the last video. So I think there's a lot of like systemic, not I think, I know there's a lot of systemic things that are being brought up right now that we're all needing to, again, look at and ask how we're going to change it. And this is also mirrored in, we have Chiron and Aries. So that's going to be up here in the chart. And it's the wound of the self. And it's asking like, am I good enough? Can I do this on my own? And what I would say is to lean into this Pluto and Aquarius placement that is saying like, it's not about us doing things alone anymore. It's about us coming together to work towards a common goal and all contributing to that goal in our own unique way, right? So if we're all looking to have peace in the world, if we're all looking to ascend our consciousness, if we're all looking to spread love in the world, how are we each going to do that in our individual lives? It's not about us accomplishing that on our own. It's about us doing it in our own lives so that it ripples out in the collective and in the network of people that are in your lives and in your communities. Okay. But the positive of this, I feel like everything I've been talking about is like kind of negative, but not negative, but it's just the shadowy parts of things. But I think this new moon in Cancer is like, how can we, like, okay, Cancer rules the mother. And so if you think about like a mom that just gave birth, and it's exhausting, it's crazy, it can be traumatic, but they still have this hope and this love for this human being. And so I think if we look at this new moon in that way of like, everything that we've been going through as a society for the last 5 years has been, like I said, shaky ground. It's been troubling. It's been chaotic. How can we start to, and it's still chaotic and crazy, how can we start to plan for the future and plan this fresh start in a way that feels really good and in a way that doesn't negate like our current reality or bypasses what we're actually going through right now, but takes that into account and says like, okay, I'm not going to ignore what's going on in the world. I'm not going to get super involved in it. I'm not going to let it take over my life. But what I am going to do is pray for peace. What I am going to do is share more love and share more light to more people, right? So because all of this is happening, I know that I need to do double the work to bring more of that to other people and still have this hope that all of this is happening, because we need to all kind of anchor in right now, especially those of you who are watching this video. I could almost guarantee you're all light workers, and really needing to band together and start actually creating what it is that we all need right now, whether that's through your business, through your work, or just by you being a good person and being there for people who aren't aware of all of these things. So that's what's coming up for me right now. Obviously, you guys know I usually channel all of this, and they kind of just like cut out. So I feel like that's it. I'm just looking to see if there's any other placements that I want to talk about that I didn't write in my notes. The only thing I want to touch on is this Mercury in Cancer as well. What they're saying is like, just listen to your intuition, which, you know, is my MO. So, but with this especially, we have this ability right now to really be connected to spirit. So listen to your messages. Listen to what spirit is telling you, And they're also saying take it step by step. Don't expect yourself to tomorrow become a completely different person. Just take the next step. All right, so I hope this was helpful. Give it a like if you found this to inspire you, to help you. That way more people can find this channel. Subscribe if you want more updates like this. And I look forward to seeing you for the full moon. All right, talk to you soon.